Let me tell you a story. There was once a boy born into a Russian family. There was nothing extraordinary about him, and not much was known about him, except that he was called Ivan, and that he went on a journey that changed something within him. So here's how it goes. In a time of war, of darkness and despair, when fighting swept across the nation like an infectious disease, lovers were separated and families were torn apart. An autocratic ruler rose to power, and everyone beneath him became his slaves, forced to slog away under pressing tasks. There was nothing to look forward to, only madness, sadness, pain, suffering, and chaos. Lost seasons, forgotten reasons. People's lives had no meaning. But amidst all the sadness and negativity, Ivan went on a journey, an unforgettable journey.
Ivan, stop daydreaming. Get back to your work.
Ivan has only two things to do in life: either help his parents in the shop or stay home. How he wished he could go out and explore the world. But no, Ivan can't go out today. hurt him. Someone should have. Yes, someone must have. For out of the moon, there comes a leopard. Ivan couldn't believe his eyes. A leopard?
How I wish I could go out and play.
Why not? Come see other birds with me.
What do you mean, other worlds?
Germany, Argentina, Cuba, Brazil. First, let me bring you to the world of Shostakovich. Shostakovich lived in the Soviet Union in the 20th century. A hard time for everyone. But he loved his homeland and never wanted to flee the country. hear just now? Did you hear joy and happiness?
Yes, I did. But was Shostakovich very happy throughout his life?
No, hardly so. He lived in a time when every night he was afraid the government would come to arrest him. He lived under constant fear, and of course he had very limited freedom to compose. It was a time of political terror, but he was constantly fighting against Stalin.
Isn't he a composer? How did he fight against Stalin?
Everything people wrote had to approve about Stalin. Stalin only allowed music that glorified the nation and himself. People who dared to write anything suggesting the sorrow and suffering of those in war were blacklisted, denounced, deported, and tortured. But did you hear freedom and hope in his music? And like everyone else, he held on to his freedom of expression and imagination. Likewise, on the other side of the world, in Brazil, Villa-Lobos also created worlds of imagination in dark times. His country was also under dictatorship. Even such, he took time to travel to the Brazilian Amazon and collected music of the native people there. His music is like a map of Brazil. It embodies the country's rich cultural diversity. Look at the Baby's Family, a composition by Villa-Lobos. It is a family of dolls. There are 8. Each represents an ethnic group of Brazil, involving both the rich and the poor. Even though some of his fellow Brazilians didn't appreciate his music at first, he never stopped composing, bringing joy to an era of darkness. Now, do you want to hear some of his music? Here are 3 of his stars.
joy, wonderment, brightness, and energy.
Yes, Villalobos created a wonderful world of his own. Like Shostakovich, he created it using the power of music. Do you know that around Kachaturian, the composer who made you up Ivan also created a fun world for you, even though he suffered under dictator rule like his friend Shostakovich. Go create your own world, Ivan.
And all of a sudden, Ivan found himself in his own room again, only to find that even during dark times, he could equally live in a world of joy, freedom, and energy. Hence, Ivan began to live his life the way he wanted, regardless of the world around him. He went to a party, had a hobby horse, and even went on an exotic adventure with a new friend called Natasha. All of which are chronicled in Kachaturian's Adventures of Ivan. After all, it all begins and ends in your mind.
唔知大家中唔中意呢個故事呢？其實咧喺呢個嘅時候咧，20世紀嘅俄羅斯咧，咁佢哋係喺呢個嘅史太林啦，呢個嘅共產黨嘅政權底下啦，咁所有嘅音樂咧都係咧需要佢去得史太林咧去批准過咧，先至可以去即係發表啦無論電影或者任何嘅思想家嘅嘢咁所以咧亦都係經過好多嘅呢個嘅政治迫害啦咁有呢個大清算咁樣。咁Khachaturian 同埋 Shostakovich 啦，佢哋所面對嘅困難係好大嘅。如果佢哋仲需要去表達到佢哋自己嗰個言論咁佢哋咧同史太林嘅鬥爭咧係好持久嘅一個 lifetime 嘅一個嘅 struggle 嘅。咁所以咧唔使講嗰個浮沉起跌係好多啦，咁精神折磨亦都好大。咁佢哋嗰個意志力係非常之大嘅。咁 Shostakovich 咧曾經講過話If they cut off both of my hands, I will compose music anyway, holding the pen in my teeth。咁佢係一個非常之有意志力嘅一個嘅作曲家嚟嘅。咁Villalobos on the other side of the world 係 Brazil， 咁佢嘅亦都嗰個政權咧都係一個嘅獨裁政權嚟嘅。佢嗰陣時個政府係叫做 Vargas， 咁係一個嘅軍人嘅統治嚟嘅。咁佢咧就亦都係咧深入去到呢個嘅亞馬遜河域嗰啲嘅地帶啦，搜集嗰個民歌啦，嘗試去咧用一個嘅 language 咧呢個音樂嘅語言咧係融合到咧嗰啲當地嘅土人啦，佢哋嘅唔同嘅巴西嘅各個種族，所以咧其實頭先大家聽到最後除咗 Daniel 之前嘅嗰3位嘅即係阿卡友啦同埋 Amy 姐姐啦咁嗰3首音樂咧，其實係一套嘅叫做 Baby Spanish 嘅一套樂曲咧，裏面嘅其中3隻公仔嚟嘅。咁每一隻公仔咧都係代表咗咧呢個巴西嘅嗰個嘅 ethnic group， 即係佢哋嗰個嘅種族咁同埋咧唔同嘅社會階層嘅。咁第一隻公仔咧，你聽到阿卡彈一隻咧，咁其實係叫做呢個 Polychina 係啦。咁我諗呢個咧就係一個家傳戶曉嘅一個嘅公仔嚟嘅咁咧就好活潑啦。咁其實每一首音樂咧都代表咗唔同嘅世界咁呢個咧係充滿活潑同埋一個嘅幽默嘅。咁第二首咧，邊邊姐姐彈嗰首咧，咁 咁就係咧呢個嘅呢個白皮膚嘅一個嘅瓷器公仔嚇，花仙做嘅瓷器公仔。咁係象徵咗一種咧係好明麗啊，呢個 the world of brightness 同埋 purity 啊，覺得好純潔啊咁樣，好可愛嘅一個世界。咁第三首咧就係呢個嘅 dark skinned girl 係 made 呢個嘅紙公仔嚟㗎。咁佢咧係象徵一個比較中產一啲嘅階級嘅咁嘅一個比較黑色皮膚少少嘅一個嘅一隻公仔嚟㗎咁係充滿活力啦，呢個 energy 啦vigor 啦咁你會覺得咧，因為聽嘅時候咧亦都好富有一種天真爛漫嘅一個嘅感覺啦咁我哋咧即係其實咧，無論佢係南啦定係北啦大家都係同樣係受到呢個嘅政權嘅嗰個控制始終咧最重要嗰樣嘢就係自己有個思想嘅自由。當我哋喺呢個嘅製作呢個故事嘅時候，我尤其是好深刻地去感受到一樣嘢，就係話往往好多時咧，我哋嗰個嘅言論自由咧，唔係受佢政權嘅嗰個打壓咧，令到你係發揮唔到出嚟。往往係咧受到大眾嘅文化咧嘅一種嘅洗腦咧，令到我哋變得咧對一啲嘅好微妙嘅人性嘅一啲嘅好細微嘅地方嘅嘢啦，或者我哋對humanity 嘅嗰個嘅 sensitivity 咧，變得咧係好暗都麻木起嚟咁呢樣嘢反而係令到我哋係有言論自由，不過我哋係點樣去講咧咁就正如好似呢個校長 Recital 嘅老師一個大學家嚟嘅咁佢就話before you learn how to say something, you have to have something to say. You have to know what to say. 你究竟有啲咩想講咧？你有冇嘢講？你冇嘢講，都係徒然啦。